Good evening, everybody. My name is David Donald, Chairman of the Sewer Commission. Today is February 23rd. It's 5:02. I'd like to start it off with our COVID Pledge of Allegiance. So we're going to read our policies on that. It says, I'd like to do a roll call, confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are clear, present and can hear me. Once I call your name, please say yes. Mike Devakis,
Yes.
John Reynolds. John's mute. Barb,
Yes.
okay. Carl Luck,
Here.
Brett Ranson, Rob Oliver,
Yes.
Bob LaFarge,
Yes.
and Whaley. Again, you can just wave. You can just introduction to the meeting tonight. The town of Lunenburg, in response to the COVID-19 virus, is currently following the guidance of the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the CDC regarding the virus and the steps can take to prevent the spread. Our town facilities are now open by appointment only in accordance with the governor's order suspended certain provisions of the open meeting law. Public meetings are being conducted remotely. The order, which you can find posted on the town website on the COVID-19 Information Center page, access through the town manager's webpage, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along in the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public access and public comment. For the meeting of the Sewer Commission, this is conveying the video via the Zoom app, and it's posted on the top website, identifying how the public may join. So we're all ready. I'd like to go right into it. I know we got some things going on here. So I'd just like to start with the announcements. Bob, why don't you go over the announcements?
My only one is that bills are coming close to being sent out. They should be ready to mail on Thursday. So just a message to our audience that if you don't receive yours, by the beginning of next week, to give us a call.
Okay, before we get into public comment, I just want to mention, Mike, I know you have an appointment a little bit later on, so you're going to have to leave early. I understand that. So I'd like to go with public comment now, if there's any public from the public. Bob, do you see anybody? Okay, any public from the board? John? And you're on mute, John. Still on mute. There you go.
There we go. I guess I need to say to the board, for the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to have to step aside from any sewer commission responsibilities or duties. I don't really want to elaborate why, other than say it's personal. So I'm sorry, but just something that has to happen. And we'll have to talk about that when we get further down in the agenda regarding the Fitchburg. But
John, thank you for sticking out with us, and I have no problem you taking as much time as you need to do what you got to do. And again, if you got to understand the rest of the board, we're going to be down a member, so we got to have a quorum starting after tonight. John, again, whatever you want us, let us know. But in the meantime, Bob, please keep giving the information to John as far as keeping him up to speed on anything. And John, feel free to call Bob at any time you have any questions on anything that's going on. And you know how to get a hold of me. So,
okay.
Not a problem. I appreciate you staying for a while tonight to finish up our meeting here that we have on the agenda. So thank you, buddy.
Okay.
Any other public comment from the members, Mike? And again, I'm going by what you are. So, Mike?
No, it's all right. John, not knowing exactly what's going on, I wish you the best of luck. And if there's anything that I can do, please feel free to reach out and let me know if there's any way I can help.
I appreciate that.
Carl?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, again, for John, I hope whatever it is works out well and quickly for you. You'll be missed.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank
you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, John. And anything I can do, please reach out to me. I would like to inform the commission tonight that I sent to the Board of Selectmen chair this afternoon my resignation from the Sewer Commission that will be effective April 30th. I'm sorry it took so long to get out of this gray area, but I had to work out with the clerk some details of timing because I felt it was important that this position, as you reminded me last, when I tried to do this before, my term is not up this year. So we want to make sure that this was done in such a way that there would be an opening on the ballot in May. So we finally got that clarified, and by resigning now with an effective date of April 30th, which is prior to the town meeting, there will be an open position on the ballot, and I sincerely hope that someone who's on sewer would step forward to potentially fill that position. Sewer users are sorely underrepresented here in my 15 years on this commission, and having the pleasure to serve with 20 other members. We've only had 3 of the members of those 20 that have been actually sewer users. So I'm hoping that by doing it this way, we can get someone who's a sewer user to join. And that's my announcement and public comment.
Brett? You're on speaker, Brett. You're on mute, Brett. Can you put it up?
No, I got it. I got it. It's terrible technology, these iPhones. My apologies. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because everything went weird for a second there. I have no comment except, John, all the best. And of course, if there's anything we can do to help or I can do personally, I'm here for you. And good luck, and we'll be here when you're ready.
Right. Thanks, Brett.
And I know we have to work out, we'll transfer some of that, the meetings you and I needed to have, and
Right.
figure it out. So probably
My-
talk about that later in the meeting if we can, about, or we could talk about it now.
No, it's on the agenda for a little bit here, Brett.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
My comment is that I want to thank Mr. Luck for his 15 years of dedication to the sewer. Some have been great, some have not been great. Times have changed, but you won't be forgotten in the town. You're one of the first members of the commission, if I remember right. I mean, we had to do it all over again. I don't think we would have even accepted sewer at the time if you think back into all those beautiful, wonderful years you've had. But again, from my heart, I want to thank you for all your services you've done to the town. And I continue nothing but the best success with you and your wife, Phyllis. I hope you take your camper and go camping and get the hell out of town for a while and enjoy. There is life beyond the Wizard of Oz here. So I hope you guys enjoy a wonderful time. And the commission's always here if you have anything to let us know. You can, if we can help you in any way in the future. So my best to you, Mr. Luck.
Thank you.
Any other public comment from anybody? Rob, do you have anything? Bob, do you have anything under the public comment?
Nope,
Okay.
just mirroring yours to Carl, just the place will not be the same. And to thank him for all the years and the input and the dedication to the commission.
I'd like to add to that, and gee, Carl, you might have to be available for consulting service. You've got a lot of history there.
Mm.
I'd be happy, John. Thank you.
Bob, why don't you follow up with Heather as far as, I don't know if we have to have an appointed position and advertise it or go on a ballot. I think it would be an appointed position. You can check with Heather on that.
Yeah, I will. It'll be a short turnaround because the election would normally be May. And I don't know if we can appoint until there is a vacancy, so I will check with Heather.
I know there is caucus coming up on March 15th, and that will be a live caucus from what I understand.
Okay,
The town getting the emails on that all?
I
think I heard it somewhere, or somebody released it, but I'm surprised town manager will probably release that soon, the schedule for elections and stuff. Has anybody seen it from any other committees as far as town caucus and stuff? Anybody? No?
have not.
Okay, I just know that it's on March 15th, so. Okay. Current business is 711 Mass Ave. Bob,
Yeah, this is well, kind of new development, just that I had seen it posted in the paper that there was a public hearing coming along. We had been advised of something going on, or just inquiries last year about the same time. But we have not been contacted directly by the engineers or planning board or any other agency. So I just
Really?
wanted to have it on here so you're aware. There is a hearing tomorrow night in regards to this project. They are intending to put in 8 townhomes at 711 Mass Ave, which is the vacant property next to Alan Patton's house. The parcel has been assessed betterments, and they've been advised that additional privilege fees will be due. They've been sent the project application, and they know they have to come before the commission. So, you know, we'll just wait and see when they want to make an appointment.
just for reference, anybody know what 711 is? Is it, it's not Stone Farms, is it?
It's down from there. It's past Bonjour. It's right before the big corner as you're heading into town. The vacant property to the left, that's had a big sign.
Okay,
Dave, you know the new garage going up on the side of that white farmhouse on the corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just to the left of that.
okay,
Right where Chestnut Street takes off.
okay. And the sewer goes by there, I presume, right?
Yes.
A lot of wetlands there too, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Towards the back, yeah.
Anything else on 711 Mass Ave, anybody? No? Okay. What I like to do is hold off on the maintenance plan. I like to bring that up at the end and move some things around, because I know Mike has to leave. The next one would be the review access to council. The only thing I like to do there, and I know we may have some changes on the board coming up, but I still like to keep that to permission instead of notification, no matter who's on the board. The standard's got to be all the way across the board. And we can open that up for discussion, but I'll be looking for a motion to change notification to permission.
I will second that motion.
I think you're making the motion, though. I'm looking for.
Oh, you need someone to make a motion. Your mic is in and out. I don't know if it's my end now or what it is.
Yeah, it's, how's that better?
And so far, so good. Yeah. I'd like to make a motion to change our access to town council policy regarding the sewer commission from notification to permission.
Now I'm looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Anybody?
Mr. Chairman, got my hand up.
Go ahead, Mr. Look.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, clearly, I don't have a lot of stake in this game anymore as a commissioner, but I still feel that we need to have some serious consideration on this for not only the current commissioners, but future commissioners. I'm not comfortable that our new commissioners really understand the intent and why this is in place and why every other commission uses it quite effectively and without any issues. I did go back because I know, and Mr. Chairman, you probably remember, back in 2017, when the town went out for a new legal organization to support us, there were proposals made by 3 firms. One of them was our current Mead, Talman, and Costa. And on April 17th, it was April 17th, in 2017, there was a presentation made, and part of that presentation, matter of fact, very early in it, because it was a big plus that they thought they had in the competition, they addressed open office hours. And I would like to play just 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes, and I would like the commission to at least hear why the office hours were stated and why it was an integral part of of the proposal made to the town that the town has taken, made good use of.
Excerpt from
Can you hear me?
Selectman presentation on April 18th, 2017 regarding office hours.
Before we touch upon some of those things, one thing that we employ with any of the fee models is office hours. It's something that more and more firms are coming around to. It's becoming more and more prevalent these days. But it's something we started back with the very first community we began representing as general counsel out of Ashland. And we began with office hours at the time. I think it was once a month. It quickly became once every other week. We are now there on a weekly basis, scheduled to be there from 9 to 1. That often becomes 8:30 to 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 9 if you're staying through the night for a selectmen's meeting. But it's been successful. It's been successful because what we find is that municipal officials, municipal staff, they know we're there. They know we're there every Wednesday in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and they funnel their questions to us during those office hours. It's an opportunity for them to see us face to face. Telephone works just as well, and they're free to call us over the course of the week if they so choose, but they know they're going to see us there on Wednesday. And so it gives them an opportunity to ask their questions, and often gives us the opportunity to get ahead of problems rather than having them not ask the question, going on their own and get that phone call 2 weeks after the fact saying, oh, we tried to do this the right way, but we were wrong. We should have asked. Oops. But we haven't seen you in a few weeks, and we didn't want to pick up the phone because we didn't want to get billed. In Ashland's case, they're actually on our hourly model, so they pay us once a week to be there for sometimes part of the day, sometimes the whole day. But it has been a significant success in Ashland in terms of reducing their litigation workload. They had quite a bit of litigation when we began as council, and we've seen that steady decline since we became council back in 2007, 2008.
Yeah, and not all the towns utilize a set schedule. So we're town council in Yarmouth. They'll kind of save up a bunch of issues and say, hey, can you come down for a day 1 month? Some towns are every other week. Some towns are once a month, and different towns do it different ways. We don't try and impose our method of being accessible. We'll let you do it. We'll let your town manager decide how they want to have access to us. We'll let the Board of Selectmen decide who and when and how they have access to it. Now,
So that was, I think the key points is that this was a preventative model that they brought to us, and preventative as in reducing litigations in the future by getting ahead of any issues. They said, you know, that they're here to help out with concerns of board members, you know, without being worried about charges, because this is essentially free. It's buried in the flat rate. So this is a free access to office hours. And it's, as I say, it's used very effectively by most people. It has been for me ever since it was instituted. Dave Passios, many people use this effectively. And it's even getting off the board. It helps protect the town, because if we get into trouble, litigation is not necessarily in the flat rate contract. So that can cost us. In the sewer, maybe I shouldn't be as worried, because in the sewer case, it's not so much the town initially that's affected financially, it's the enterprise fund. If this commission makes some errors that get us into trouble because we haven't had access to this, it's going to come out of the enterprise fund and directly affect the users, not the rest of the town. So I would strongly encourage the commission to maybe park this motion so they can think about it a little more. Perhaps even sign up for office hour with the with legal next time they're open, which might be in March, and discuss it with them before really, taking this valuable tool away from the members to learn, what do the regulations mean, what's legal, what can I do, what can't I do, without the pressure of open meeting. But the other things I think we need to take into account, if to get permission, it's going to have to be on the agenda. So first, if someone has an interest in just asking for clarification on something from council, which is the place to go. I mean, there's been no talk about restricting members' ability to ask any other members of the town their their own lawyers, whoever. So there's no other restriction than this restriction, which is the most reliable resource. In order to even get that permission, you're going to have to first ask the chairman to put it on the agenda. Then it's going to have to get put on agenda and then decided, and then schedule an office hour. So it'll turn, what could be a 2-day process into a 2-month process if you ever get there. And so I have 2 questions if you go forward with this, is what is the problem that's trying to be solved with this that no other board thinks they have? And secondly, what would you consider to be a reasonable reason for not giving permission to someone who asked to go to town office? So I would like to hear that from the members who are in favor of putting this in place.
Before we do that, let me explain why we're doing this, Mr. Luck. We're doing it for a couple of reasons. One is nobody is taking any rights away from anybody. If you work together on a board, and if someone's going behind our backs and going to attorneys and coming back to that board and say, I talked to the attorney without letting the board members know, I think that's awful. I think that is the worst thing that can happen to any committee trying to work together. It's just unconscionable. And that's why we said before that this isn't a right. It's a privilege that the town set this up. But nobody on this committee is being restricted from going, including you. But when it's abused, yeah, that's why we're doing it. And it was abused. So there's a lot of things you got to look at. And as far as going back in history, since you're leaving, there's no sense in doing that. But nobody, all these other board members do not have any problem going to see the attorney. All you got to do is say, hey, guys, I'm going to go see the attorney. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have a problem with that, Mr. Luck, that's my problem. I'm sorry. That's why we're putting this in. As far as the members, sure, guys, you can talk, and we can go around the room real quick. Mike, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I agree with everybody else on the board, along with you, Dave, too, is that if there's if we have a question and we need to go to council, there's no reason why we can't bring it up in our meeting or as a group that, hey, I have a question, I want to go to council. Maybe the question can be answered in this committee. And if it can't, then we go to council with it.
Yeah, Mike, Brett?
Yeah, I agree. Also, I don't see why it would have to be put into the agenda. Why couldn't we simply have it during a discussion, like business discussion or public comment time of the meeting?
Well, you know what, that's a good question. And Kyle, thanks for bringing that up, but we can put it into our category. We have town meeting. Bob, what's that article?
What's the what?
Hold on. Members' agenda input for future meetings. We can just say any input about seeing an attorney. I mean, you know what? Not one person, not one, is bigger than anybody else on our board. So for someone to go behind our backs and go talk to the attorney about a subject that we're working on as a team bothers the hell out of me, and it's scary. And I don't think that was the intent when the office hours were set. And I advise that to any board. I don't know what anyone says. If a board member from any other board is going behind without notifying their board, they're going to go see the attorney, is wrong. If I find out that someone's on my board, I would be very upset because we're working together as a team. That's called going rogue. And if someone has a problem saying to a board, hey guys, I'm going to go see the attorney about this, I know I would encourage it. I think everyone on this board would encourage it. There and not get blindsided, that's not right. And to this time forward, that's my opinion on this. It's very simple. John, I'm sorry, I didn't get remarks. Do you have any?
I'm not sure I can add anything different. I think no one has an issue with someone going to the attorney, town council. It's just a matter of it would be nice to know ahead of time that there's a disagreement, and sure, I would encourage anyone to go then.
Same with me, John. I mean, there's a disagreement on a board. Somebody wants to go for knowledge. That's not an emergency. They may want to go and see on how the open meeting law works, or the budget system works, or whatever it is. But if you're by yourself without letting the board members know, talking about a topic that we're talking about, yeah, I take that pretty seriously. And just you missed a lot. So now would be, I'm looking for a motion. Not a motion, I'm looking for a vote. Any more discussion? Mike?
Yeah, I just have to say that I have yet to hear why, an example, you keep referring, and I'm sure you're pointing at me, going behind your back. That's certainly not the case, and I've never done that. You've never provided any example that was accurate, that created any problem. What I've mostly used it most recently was when we thought there may have been an illegal connection, and I went to council to get clarification of our regulation, so that I knew how to make up my mind relative to the next meeting. And it turned out well, and it didn't affect things at all, which was great because I understood the regulation better. That's all I can say.
I'm looking for a vote. Mike?
Aye.
Brett?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
I for myself. Oh, Carl?
Nope.
And an I for myself. The last thing, Mike, I know you got to go, would be the project that John's going to be working on. And I just volunteered to take John's place and work with Brett on that. So, Mike, I guess you're all set unless you have any other questions.
Nope, I'm good to go.
It'll be gone by 5:30, so it's 5:28.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We will talk to you all later.
Night,
Yep,
Mike.
take care, Mike.
Have a
Take
good
care, Mike.
one. Okay, so why don't we,
Dave, real quick.
Yeah.
For some reason, I do not know if it's my connection. You're in and out. Who was helping me with the Fitchburg state?
John was, but I'm going to go with John's place and work with you and Barb on it.
Oh, you are? Okay. Sounds great. I just didn't hear who. I didn't. You blanked out, so.
Is that happening? Am I backing out with everybody, or,
Is it happening to everyone?
I mean, am I doing it to everybody?
Well, Dave, your connection is not as good as usual. And actually, Brett, yours is not as good as usual either. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on weak signal here. Okay. All right,
That's
so
our bad connections.
Barb, are we all set on the Fitchburg? You want to go over that real quick with Brett and I now?
Yep, yep. We did get response back from Fitchburg. They did meet on the 10th and they approved an extension all the way through May 28th. But what
Okay.
that will provide is hopefully the time for us to do the review. I mean, the suggested amendments, have the commission review, approve, go to Fitchburg, then it has to come back, go to council, then a couple of public hearings to change our regs. So he pushed it out very probably wisely.
Right. So
We're good.
because we had asked for April 1st, right?
Right,
April, May. So you said May 28th?
yes,
Wise man.
he is.
Not you, he is. You're a wise woman, obviously, Barbara.
I'm not going to
No.
worry about this until after our presentation on March 11th. Is that still date for the town finance committee?
That's the last I've heard, yes.
So I mean, I will work with Brett after that presentation. And town meeting, I have no idea when that is. Again, I thought there was a schedule that came up, but I don't know when town meeting is this year.
Like May 2nd,
We
I
should
think,
get information
May
pretty-
1st.
All right, so Brett, I'll be talking to you. We'll work on something and
Yep.
we'll work out something with Barb, how we can meet. And it'd be nice if we go down there and they can buy us coffee or change and stuff.
Sounds good.
That would be up to
I like
Rob.
it.
Rob can buy us coffee.
I heard about half of that last part.
He said he wants me to buy coffee.
Oh, there you go. I say aye.
Let's go to our maintenance plan, and this is Mr. Lux. We're gonna call this as Mr. Lux leaving, Mr. Lux maintenance plan. So, Rob, what is on this maintenance plan? Someone started off.
So I've reviewed the latest version, which I've been sitting on for a while. Basically, I have just general comments, looking for other bits of information. In different tables providing other information, spare parts inventory. I have a list of comments. I haven't formalized them, but I can certainly do that. I'm hoping to just kind of compile everybody's comments, so we can send them around and hit them all at once. I really don't have any major comments other than just looking for maybe clarifications and other bits of information. Others with a different take on it and looking at it differently may find other things and may want more information, which is fine. I think having more information, more guidance in this document can only produce a better document.
Well, with a maintenance plan, I like to see us hit, especially with the amount of capital that we're offering this year. I like to hit more than 4 or 5 different things. Now I'm looking at section 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna refer to Kyle. Kyle, what would your vision of a maintenance plan be? Using this document that we have from the 19th.
Thank you, Dave. I think there's, in my mind anyway, there's two separate things that maybe you're getting a little mixed up. One is the maintenance plan, which is the document that that Rob's reviewing and that made a lot of inputs to, and I have a lot of comments to, and that's basically the structure of what we should be doing and how often we should be doing it. What we actually do outside of the maintenance plan, for example, I&I reduction. I mean, that's certainly maintaining the system, but it's not, it's not specific within this plan. So I think that the structure of the plan is good, and I think that's, I think I heard Rob that it basically structured there. This can always be improved. But I do think I have been waiting for this, as you say, Mr. Chairman, because the history was the commission, which was almost entirely made up of people other than this current commission, came up, took the contracted plan, had some modifications made, and then turned it over for DPW input, and DPW significantly changed it. And that's primarily, and I've spent a lot of time going back and forth, and it's really confusing, but that's primarily where most of my comments come, is to try to either understand why things were omitted and changed significantly, and try to get some of that meat back into it. Some of the how frequently we do tests. So I'm anxious. I have about 3 pages of I did provide to Rob fairly high level comments of the sections that had been changed that were of concern. I've now gone a little bit more detail, with comments and suggestions, and I've been waiting for quite a few months, as you know, to be able to have this discussion. So I think we need to do that, because some of the and there's some small things in here that are just not consistent. We've got tables, of how often you do certain things, TV lines, and they're 2 tables and they're not consistent, and it's always the danger of having same information.
Well, let me ask you a question. On the maintenance plan that I'm looking at, and let's take a look at section 2, for example. It's broken down by like the gravity sewer system, overall history. Let me know if I'm reading out of place here. Low pressure sewer system, overall view, blah, 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 blah. But then you go to like Dana Street pump stations with a list of things that how it's running, what should be done there. Would it be possible, since you're leaving soon, to set up you don't go out, right? You don't.
No.
Would it be possible to set up a meeting with Barb and Rob on a Zoom meeting and put your comments within this structure, which is the 63-page structure? Barbara, is that what it is? The plan?
The current, I'm not looking at it to know the exact pages.
The one you emailed out, I presume, like the separate sections. And thank you, Barb. That was very helpful to have those those documents separate, just so I could go back and forth. But that's the document we're working off. I mean, there's a lot of history. I think there's information in prior documents that's very important to at least discuss, if not pull forward into this document that got left out for some reason. But I'm quite happy to work with the document as it currently stands. That's what I've been working with.
The DPW director, knowing his busy schedule, now the weather is breaking a little bit, but I know he's been busy with the snow and he's new to the town, so I think he's taking a crash course on that part of it. I think if we could pick an hour or so out of the day, that's amenable to Robert and Bob. I don't see a problem with that. How about opinions from Rob and Bob?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do that. I have been tied up. It's budget season being my first. I'm really getting my feet wet on that and getting ready for my presentation to Finance Committee. But yeah, I think after next week or the following week, Carl, I should have plenty of time. I'd be happy to do that.
And the town put a lot of money into this plan.
I would look forward to that. And Barb, if you can help coordinate us, because I think there's as much to learn from going through the discussion as there is to improving the plan. And it'd be a good way for me to transfer some information, at least historic information, and do it, you know.
Well, I think the other thing
So
too,
Barb, I'd be happy to do that.
Carl, maybe if you can do some guidelines before you go, so you're not all over the place. So maybe you want to hit it, maybe 2 meetings and discuss what you're going to discuss. Send out an outline, you know what I mean? As far, instead of going through the thing.
Yeah, I could, but I say I think we could make an awful lot of progress in the first 1 hour meeting. It's really not, you know, it's 3 pages, but there's not that many different things. There's some overlap. So I think the sooner we can get 1 hour, I'll take what I've done. I'm not going to do any more. I'll just kind of clean it up so you can read it. And we can use it as a tool to walk through. And I think we'd get a long way in an hour.
But keep in mind what our goal would be. One is start the maintenance plan, but try to price it so we could make sure we have enough capital to fund it. And Rob, I think you know what I'm trying to say there is, you know, what is our goal? And we should be breaking that down either by quarter or by year. And I'll leave it up to you guys as far as how the maintenance plan would operate. But there's always should be something going on now. And let's go through just 1 year, see where we are, then maybe make a 5-year plan next year and see how it goes this year.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, and I agree. Now, as I was going through this, because a lot of the things really are, you know, the things that do drive costs. That's where, you know, looking, how often do we want to inspect manholes and how, you know, all of those things. I think once we get this down, I think you could very easily put together a 5-year cost for this maintenance plan. Because it'd be, you know, what do you do quarterly? It says very clearly quarterly, annually, semi-annually, every 10 years. So you could, you know, you could lay out the cost of the maintenance plan, not, you know, repairs, but the maintenance plan over 5 years and make that a part of your ongoing budget.
Well, I think by doing it this way, we all have an idea. Instead of having 5 commissioners look at it, I'd rather have 3 people look at it, review it. Carl, you're the spearhead of it, you know it, but I don't want to bring it up to 293 pages again either. I think we're looking to streamline it as well. Excuse me 1 second.
No, it never was. It's yes. I'm not looking to make it any longer.
That's plenty comprehensive.
That was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But Bob and Rob, do you agree with this or how we can do it?
Yep.
I'm fine.
And again, I know, Bob, our priority right now is getting this budget and presentation done. And I'll be coming down, maybe I'll stop by tomorrow or one day this week and work on that. But we're almost done with it, so we're close.
Let me get my bills out.
You still working on the bills?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Thank you, Kyle, for doing that. Any other questions on the maintenance plan?
No, I just think this is probably the best approach, and probably the quickest, most efficient way to do it. So,
And Kyle, don't be surprised if we do. I mean, Bob was kidding, but don't be surprised if we do call you up along the way with some of the knowledge you have in the town.
I would be thrilled. Make me feel wanted.
What's
Amen.
your rate, Carl? What's your rate?
I won't charge you much.
Personally, like I said, I hope you take Phyllis and go on a long vacation. Okay, minutes, approval of the minutes, or anything else on maintenance plan? Thank you, guys. Minutes, I'm looking for a motion to accept the minutes from,
Can I jump? We skipped over town meeting articles. I just want to make sure there's nothing anybody is expecting us to have on the warrant besides our standard budget articles, the transfers and in and out of stabilization funds and your normal budget articles.
have you sent the town manager and Karen our budget for next year?
Yes,
Comments back from them?
I have not, nope, I haven't heard any more.
I mean, I think we all think it looks good, so, okay, no, I
Yep.
don't have anything. Anybody else? Okay,
Okay, all right, sorry, now minutes, if that's okay.
for a
Great
motion,
job on that, Barb. Great job on that.
Thank you.
gonna be better next year. It's gonna be leaner and faster. And I'm looking for approval for the minutes from the 2/4 and the 2/9 meetings. Looking for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the 2/4 meeting.
I'll
Okay,
second that motion on the 2/4 meeting.
any discussion? All in favor? Carl? Brett?
No discussion.
No, Brett? No, I'm looking for a vote.
Vote.
Oh, aye.
John?
Aye.
Carl, you said yes? And an aye for myself. 2/9, looking for a motion to accept the 2/9 meetings.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from the February 9th meeting.
Anybody?
I will second that
Okay,
motion.
any discussion? All in favor? Carl?
Aye.
Brett?
Aye.
John?
Aye,
Am I coming better now, by the way? Is the voice better?
you are.
Mhm.
Okay, minutes approved. Business managers report. Go ahead, Bob, you're on the air.
All right, and one was the budget, and I just wanted to let you know that it had gone to town manager. The next step is our FinCom presentation on March 11. And that's about it. That's where we're moving. 384 Mass Ave, I did hear from John Esposito. He is still working at trying to get the survey, so he has not, he's still working on it. Invoices, I have just one from Fitchburg. It did, this one is a steeper one. It's for $19,401.38.
I'll send it back.
If we could.
If they might send something back too, and we don't
Yeah,
want that.
unfortunately. So I just, it's basically an advisal that is what we've been billed from Fitchburg, but it is based on the flow meter information that we sent to them. So it's high, but it's also the time of year that's high. So.
Okay.
And any questions on that, or is that all right?
Do you need us to sign it?
No, just a nod that it's okay to, proceed.
Do you need a
Got
motion?
my nod.
Not,
Do you need a motion?
Proceed.
you don't need a motion. It's usually just an initial by the chair. So it's just really that it's been discussed and approved.
Okay.
Okay. And Grease Trap, everybody's got their logs in for the January, and we're just about ready to need February. They're all due on March 2nd. And our annual report has been submitted, and you'll get a nice booklet at town meeting. So, and that's all I have.
Any members' agendas input for future meetings? And we're gonna change that to, we're gonna word it right for permission to go see town attorneys. If a member wants to use that opportunity.
How about members' requests for future meetings, council hours?
Something like that, just to protect us on the open meeting.
Okay, yep.
The other thing is, before we go into the public comment, can you put on there? I'd like to know the schedule of the town events. Could you ask town manager to send that to us and send it out to the commission, town meeting, the caucus, whatever, all that stuff, the schedule? Can you send that out? Have Heather send it out.
I'll ask.
If you get it, just send it to us, just for general, so we can,
Sure.
people start vacations in March and stuff. And they go
Right.
on. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Any public comment from the public? Mr. Passios.
Hi there. I would have put my hand up, but it would take 4 more clicks to get there. Dave Passios, 56 Whiting Street. Obviously, I'm disappointed with the vote you took this evening in regards to town council. I disagree with it, but it's up to you as commissioners of your commission to do what you deem is necessary. I cherish my access to town council for, as I told you in the past, a number of reasons. And I did agree that, if there's abuse, there's a need to deal with the abuse. But having something that ties a member of the commission's hands time-wise to getting to town council with questions, I just see it as unfortunate that tonight's vote was taken. But again, it's your commission. It's just my public comment as a citizen of Lunenburg and a member of multiple boards. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? I don't think so. Any public comment from the board? I see none. John, just want to say whatever you need, don't forget, thank you for what you've done, and we're there for you, always.
Thank you.
And our next meeting is going to be March 9th at 5 o'clock. We will be then visiting the Finance Committee on March 11th, and I don't know the time on yet, Bob. Do you have a
It
time?
was at 7:30 but that was like a month ago, so I can check with Heather and verify.
Okay.
We have another meeting before it, so
Okay,
we meet on the 9th, so.
I'm just finding out. I just had to change my vacation to be here for that, so I forgot all. But I'll be here on the 11th, so I hope it's the 11th. Then we have March 30th, which is our regular 5 p.m. remote meeting. Hopefully, with some of the good news coming out this week with the vaccinations of everybody, and hopefully the life will start getting back to normal for all of us by hopefully in the summertime. I'd like to wish everyone a good evening. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn, and we'll start with.
Before I motion to adjourn, a quick question for you, Dave. That picture of Gwyneth Paltrow, is that pre or post Iron Man?
Actually, you know what? Hold on.
Wow, you can see that, John?
No, he's got good eyes.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Paltrow. You can see I drank a lot because I'm kind of red-faced there. But
She looks pretty young there, so it's probably pre.
probably pre, yeah, I would say it's
Yeah.
maybe 2000. I want to say 2000 probably. That's what I would. But anyway, that's good. Looking for a motion to adjourn, guys. Carl?
Aye.
And again, Carl, thank you from all of us on your 15 years of dedicated service, and you're not done yet. You've got a couple more weeks working with the board here. Brett?
And yes, I'd like to thank Carl as well. And I give an aye for adjourning.
John?
Carl, thank you.
Aye.
And an aye.
In retrospect or in reverse order, can I just get motions and second? I didn't hear him.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Thank you,
Second.
Brett. Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Okay,
Wanna-
sorry.
wanna
Good
tell you-
job, Bob. Good night, all.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night, everybody.
Hey,
Good night, all.
Good night. Take care, John.
thank you. Good night.